what's coming down the pipeline is EWC, NHI, the Department of Social Development today put out a green paper or something where they said we want to take 12% of your income,
Yeah.
put it into like a national pension fund or some garbage.
Please go check out rebelstoreza.com. Their winter range is now available. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Real Moments. Real Moments are sections from longer interviews done on my channel that I think you guys might find interesting. Your real moment is in. I would imagine that you would be like, you know what, if they want it, let it happen.
Yeah. No, look, I support any initiative that supports, that furthers classical liberalism. I mean, it all depends what sort of country this would be. I wouldn't be a fan of a Cape Republic that becomes either a fork state or a socialist state. And I have no idea what the Cape Republic would be if it were to be independent, because we just don't. South Africa's just so underdeveloped ideologically and politically. I mean, you've got the ANC, which is just a corrupt mafia, but I mean, I just don't know what people are proposing from like ideologically and politically. So before I sign up to support something, I need to know: are you guys trying to be classically liberal about it, or what exactly are you trying to do? But I mean, ultimately, my thoughts on this is that Cape independence is an idea that will go nowhere on its own, and it has gone nowhere in the last 15 years. The guys have been working on it full time for 15 years. They've never won more than a few thousand votes. But if South Africa becomes a failed state, then Cape independence suddenly becomes very irrelevant, And it's a bit like the lifeboats on the Titanic. Nobody wants to get into the lifeboats until the ship's at 45 degrees and everybody suddenly wants to get into the lifeboats. And so I sort of feel that that the pace of Cape independence will be dictated by the pace of South Africa's collapse. That's how I've always felt. And the reason that it's taken off recently is because South Africa is now probably 30 degrees in the water.
Yeah.
Worse than that. I mean, the situation in South Africa is so bad. I mean, you've got what's coming down the pipeline is EWC, NHI, the Department of Social Development today put out a green paper or something where they said we want to take 12% of your income, put it into like a national pension fund or some garbage.
While I have you here, why don't you please go down in the description below and check out support my channel, where you can support me for as little as 40 Rand a month, and also you get some perks, but you gotta use the Quicket link to get access to these perks. Again, links in the description below, and don't forget, subscribing is always free.
But South Africa still hangs together because the petrol stations still have petrol and the supermarkets still have food. It's not a full-blown failed state yet. When it becomes a full-blown failed state, you'll have evacuation of a lot of people out of this country, but not everybody, and there are going to be a lot of people who won't be able to leave, but who will be desperate because they'll be hungry. And in those circumstances, everything changes. I mean, the people talking about Section 215 of the Constitution, South Africa will be a lawless country. It'll be a country where the rule of law doesn't really work, and it'll be a bit like what happened in KZN a few weeks ago, And in those circumstances, I find it very hard to see how Cape independence can possibly be stopped. People always say it's impossible. Well, it's impossible until it suddenly becomes impossible to stop. It's one of those strange things in life where, the Titanic was impossible to sink until suddenly it became impossible to keep it afloat. And it happened in the space of 2.5 hours, So I don't underestimate Cape independence at all. Not at all. My first priority would be for South Africa to be a great success. There are only one of two ways in which that could happen. The first is that the ANC starts governing the country well. It's not going to happen. And the second is the DA wins the national election and then governs the country well. And they could govern the country well, but I haven't seen firm evidence indicating that the DA is going to suddenly start winning 4 or 5 million more black votes. I think that's wishful thinking. And so what happens? Well, what happens is South Africa continues to drift as it has drifted for many years now. And eventually, at some point, South Africa will become a failed state if it continues on this current path. At which point you've got evacuation and you've got independence. Those are the two ways forward. I think both will happen. I think there'll be a lot of people who evacuate, but the people who can't evacuate, I think, are going to be pushed into a more and more desperate position. And at that point, I think things become very fluid. And I'm not convinced by many of the arguments that say that Cape independence can't happen. When the supermarkets run out of food and the petrol stations run out of petrol, and your president is, I don't know, David Mabuza or Malema or something, and you've got a KwaZulu-Natal style situation happening everywhere. Oh, there's all of a sudden things which were previously thought of as being impossible are going to become very, very possible very quickly.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, was your real moment. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please feel free to share it with your friends, family, or whoever you think might find it interesting. Give the video a like. It goes a long way to supporting the channel and helping it grow. And this is your second reminder to please subscribe to my channel. I've got a lot more content coming your way. And please go check out the Telegram channel. It's a channel, not a group. You just get notified of all the upcoming uploads and live streams on this channel. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, stay safe, be kind to one another, and I'll see you at the next one. Cheers.